Welcome to the next episode of Dr. Kamini Rao's Masterclass.
This is a tough job, tough place, lot of rowdyism, this, that, and so on. I mean, whatever illegal orders, if at all, if they come from the top, you have to say no to it. And
A goal for even youngsters who want to get into the same profession.
so the courage comes from the fact that even if they dig up something, they'll not find anything against. See, I believe that it's not some outsiders who will come and change the system. People who are there for that job.
So you're always packed with a suitcase ready to go to the next job.
Kind of, yes. Because I've seen officers how they really get attached to the vehicle, to the orderlies around, to the PAs, to the chair, to even the kind of chair. They get a good revolving chair of high cost, and you know they change the whole office and
decor and
they
all that.
carry even their PAs from one post to another, many senior officers. And I ask why a PA is attached to the post, not to the person. So they create so much comfort zone, I tell you, especially in the police. And once they're out of police job, like now I'm heading handicrafts company, Kaveri, brand Kaveri, which is very good. Now that is something outside police. Not I think almost all of them will say no to such posts, because it does not have too many, that comfort zone of policemen around you, saluting you always, taking care of your needs, doing catering to the hierarchy and all that. So they really feel very fish out of water types, which I don't. So I don't create comfort zone, so that makes it okay for me to get transferred anywhere.
So what is the shortest time you have stayed in a job and the longest time you've stayed in a job?
The longest only I can say, shortest are, I think there are too many competitions for that shortest
Yes.
thing. The
From-
longest I stayed is as SP Yadgiri. That was the
For
newest
3 years,
district.
is it?
3 years, because there were no takers for that. That was quite away from Bangalore, quite away from any
Very
civilized
dry
city.
place, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was the newest district, and it did not have a proper office for the SP and even the residents. So I stayed in a village called Bhimrayangudi, which was earlier some irrigation works used to be done. So there is a command area development project post, which was defunct because works had got completed. But my husband was attached to that post. He was made MD there. That was an additional charge. So I stayed in that village, in that house, dilapidated house. Of course, with him, he was also having charge of GESCOM. Like BESCOM, you have Gulbarga Electric Supply Company. So he used to go to Gulbarga from there. I used to go to Yadgiri from there. So Bhimrayangudi was in Yadgiri district only. Even for that, my senior had an issue with me, saying, actually I had put my children, my child actually, in the same village just next to our house. There was a school. So I just put her there because I used to travel to Yadgiri 40 kilometers, 40 minutes. I didn't want the small child who was just in LKG that time. I didn't want her to go travel with me all day long and come back. I put her in the school next there, and she studied for 3 years, till second standard she studied. So even in spite of that, there was a senior of mine who was not happy with me staying in that village. I said, why don't you stay in the headquarter? Headquarter I searched, Yadgiri, I searched actually, but there were no houses. The houses were such that either the owner will be staying upstairs and you have to stay downstairs, or it will be like a twin house, you have to stay in the next house. My position, like it's an independent authority, I have to be independent and fair and all that. I can't mix up my duties with another private individuals. There were no houses, so there are many instances where unnecessary poking, not controversy, poking, like interference.
That's also very. So that means you've been extremely popular or unpopular, I must say.
No, I'm very popular. I think among like-minded people, or even among the my public has really supported me all along, and I'm very grateful for that. But then ultimately whatever comes in writing you have to face alone. Like so many memos, notices were given to me. Public can't come and help me for that. And the only thing that can save you is when you are right and when you have nothing to hide or cover up. So that has saved me all along. But I'm again very grateful for public support.
But
it just
what
helps.
about the children? I mean, being transferred so many times, the school will
Oh,
suffer.
children, I think only now they are having idea. They didn't even know much about their mom and dad or their work or anything. They didn't know. Children are children, like godly. That's why we say children are like God. They won't understand any discrimination. They never felt bad. I went to village school. My daughter, no. Like at that age, for them, it's like, I mean, they haven't seen the world. There are no such ideas of feeling bad or discrimination. She was enjoying with her friends in that school. So only now they know that oh, their mother is so and so. Like, I mean, what she has done and these ideas. Even their father, what he has done. They only know of late, and that too because in the school, I think their friends would say, hey, my parents said that your father did this, your mother did this. So then, did you do that? They come and ask.
So that means you've been good parents, not to flaunt your
No, we don't
positions,
flaunt at all.
which is so important. Now, how do you actually bring about a good bonhomie between police and the citizens of the state? Because it's always perceived that an IPS officer, there's always a distance between the public and the police. So, how did you try to bridge that?
No, I've always kept an open door policy. Anybody can walk in anytime to my office and meet me. I meet all straight off people. I don't keep any levels of filtration. I have heard this, that if you come, even in police stations when you go, the complainant is not allowed to meet the inspector. There will be some 2-3 levels of filters. The first is the reception, guard who is standing there will turn you off and turn you down and send you away. And then next level, some receptionist will be there. She will, nowadays it is ladies. So they will also again not allow you to meet the inspector. But I have heard that this happens similar way to in offices of IPS officers also in other states, more so in North Indian states. But I think that is one area we should correct. We should keep our eyes and ears open, because I keep getting so much information about my own department, about my own files. Suppose I am not seeing the file, or it's buried by my clerk deliberately, kept away from me. Then it's this information. If I keep my channels open, I learn so much. There's something happening in my office, or nothing fair is being done. So then I can correct. So this has been my this is what I believe, that we should keep our eyes and ears open. And if people criticize, I take it, or even if they say a wrong thing or negative thing, I don't take it personally. I look into it and I get a lot of information. Yeah, this has been happening, let me correct it, and then I correct the things. But many times IPS officers more so, and even IAS officers, create a coterie around them, like people who will always feed them good information, good things about themselves, and it's such like ivory tower away from reality, because of which they stop getting real information. They believe what they're doing is final, like correct thing, which may not be. So I think we have to keep our eyes and ears open and listen to, interact more and more so with the public, who will give you information.
What happens when, as a woman IPS officer, and you have your juniors with you who get distracted and say, why should I go and listen to a woman IPS officer, and they don't follow your orders, etc. So how do you deal with the male population who are just junior to you, not the very junior ones, but just junior to you? How do you deal with those characters?
I had one bitter experience in Cuttack. So what happened, it was election time. So one of the ex-ministers of that area was trying to get B form ticket, and probably he got an inkling that High Command will not give him the ticket. So he addressed a group of his followers and a big gathering, saying that, see, if we have to draw the attention of High Command, we have to burn few buses. This he mentioned in the speech, and he left the place after that. But then his followers burned down 2 buses. Then it happened in Nargun. So then I got the message that buses have been burned down and situation is volatile. I rushed from Gadag. Then I went from Gadag. By then my officer had arrested some people who don't matter, youngsters who probably burned down the buses themselves. Like he had arrested 8 to 10 of such young guys who might have actually done the job, because burning the buses. But then I told him who instigated them to do. It's not for their benefit they have done. There's somebody who has abetted. Abetting is also a crime in IPC.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that my junior was not ready to listen. He was a DSP rank officer. He had already put in many years of service as my age, equal. I was, I think, 32 at that time. So he had put in, I think, almost 32, nearly 32, kind of 28, 30 types, so much service. So, but he didn't listen to me. He thought it's not needed. So he kept giving me wrong information. That is why this UPSC, the policy is catch them young. Though you want people in service who have had their experience, young blood also will boost, bring in new ideas and do things fearlessly. That is the idea. So he was not ready to listen, and I said, I will sit here, you go and bring that leader. So he didn't, and he kept saying, no, he has gone off to Bangalore, this and that. I said, nothing doing, I'll keep sitting here. I kept sitting in the station till then it was 9 o'clock in the night, then 9:30, 10 o'clock. Then he thought that I'm not going. So he said, okay, I'll see if he's available. And he went and he brought him. And then the person came and sat right in front of me. And then I told the constable, ki dekho, he can't sit in front of me. He is an accused in this case. You do the arrest procedures and send him to the judicial custody. Means you have to produce anybody before the judge when you arrest. So they did that procedure that day. And then the DSP had the audacity to tell me, if I had known you would arrest him, I would not have got him at all. He had this audacity to tell me when I'm doing the right thing and when he is not doing the right thing. So then it was election time, election code of conduct was in place. So I wrote to the election commission about the erring of this fellow, and they suspended him. I recommended suspension, they suspended him, and he was in suspension for 1.5 years. So that was one bitter experience that I've had with a junior not wanting to follow my orders.
It's very frustrating, isn't it, the way that they behave. And sometimes you have only males there and you are the only female there. Because you'll find in those police stations, it can become an adda there, yeah. And then you'll have to be also careful. However much of an IPS officer you may be there.
No, I have not experienced that kind of a scare. Situation. No, I have not.
Okay.
I think the authority is there. Even now people ask me, you have done so many things. Is there any threat? Anybody threatened you for life or anything? No, there's no threat as such. And I'm also in the responsible position, so people know that if something happens to me, it will be detected or whatever. I at least would like to believe that there is no real threat like that.
Yeah, that is good, because that's an important thing. Now, going on to something very happy, when you got your President's Medal, okay, how was that feeling? And when was this?
It was a good feeling, because when I went to receive it, the governor put the medal. So the whole crowd was cheering, and then I thought in my mind, by then Shashikala episode had happened. So for all the, deafening silence I had got from my own colleagues, they would not speak anything in my support or anything. They would just waiting. Okay, let us see, waiting with bated breath what will happen to her, whether there will be some action against her by the government. They were waiting. So for all that deafening silence that I heard from them, there was loud cheering applaud from public. So
They just
that
was drowned, isn't it?
Yes.
But you got the President's Medal twice.
No, it is actually once.
Just
I
once?
think Wikipedia is wrong actually.
Yeah. So which means the public has supported you overwhelmingly. Okay, that they've done it twice, which is a very, very nice to get the President's Medal, and it's such a prestigious
Because
medal.
I think when I got it, I was the youngest at that time, and 26, 16, 17, I got it. So I was the youngest in the country at that time.
Very good, very good. See, that means hard work, and sincere work and work with integrity will always get recognized, irrespective of who is there and who is trying to pull your leg. I think this hard work and being truthful.
People who recognize also may have their own mindset or stereotypes or what their priorities and so on. Of course, the general public has always supported me, for which I am very grateful. But then I don't do things for recognition or appreciation. Whatever I do, it gives me satisfaction. If I don't do what I'm doing in my own way, that creates lot of kind of imbalance in me. Why am I not able to do this? Why am I not doing this? This is the way to do. I just do it now
But
as a habit.
then, you've also been called on the TED Talks, and then you've given TED Talks, and I had the opportunity of listening to one of the TED Talks. How was that feeling? Because you are
When
very...
the talk was given, again it was straight from the heart.
Yes.
People generally say that I speak straight from heart. That I didn't know that it would be really that viral, and it would have so many views and get so much appreciation. It was just one talk that I went and delivered, but then it was on everybody's WhatsApp, the video, and everybody was. I've heard from. It feels good when my own friends say, "Oh, today I got this from abroad. My friend in US sent, my uncle in this country sent," and so on. When they say, seeing actually that video, that talk, Nigerian police had called me in 2019. Yeah, so I went to Nigeria. They had arranged, and they made me deliver for their police staff. So that time, one of the retired police officers there said on stage, he said, "Madam, this talk of yours is very popular in Nigeria. Here also we have similar situation, and every policeman is having this on his phone," which was very
It's really heartening.
and more than that, though it is more about my job and about bureaucracy functioning and all that, many women come and tell me, I was feeling low and down, and I listened to this talk, and again I bounced back.
It's so nice.
That I have heard it from many women, from many quarters. They say, I was feeling tumba ಬೇಜಾರಾಗಿತ್ತು, ತುಂಬಾ ದುಃಖ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. I saw this, nange tumba energy bantu again to fight back. Whenever I feel low, I keep seeing this. They tell me that.
Which is so nice, because that's all what I would also want from masterclass from you, is to say this, that you always have to have hope, and that's what it is.
Yes.
Because a person who's so multifaceted and having had so many sort of credits to your name, apart from being bold, beautiful, with a lovely nightingale voice, so with having a multifaceted career, being a police officer and also a wonderful voice, can we have a song from you, the IPS officer, D. Rupa, and for the audience a song?
So this song is about the importance of what you think, the mind. If you think, you can. If you think you can't, then it's almost certain that you won't. So it's all in mind. Tora man darpan kehlaye, tora man darpan kehlaye, भले बुरे सारे कर्मों को देखे और दिखाए, तोरा मन तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाए.
I agree, but it was a lovely song, you know. It's all-time greats. So I think, Rupa, going back on all these things, you know, my viewers are really excited to hear so much about you, because they must have also heard the TED Talks. They've heard so much about you through our talks. You know, what would your message be to our viewers today?
Believe in yourself, and as I've again said while singing the song, if you think you can, you definitely can, and if you think you can't, it's almost certain that you won't. So it's all in mind. Life's battles don't always go to the fastest or strongest man on earth or woman on earth. It's always one who thinks he or she can who wins. Yeah, so keep this spirit going. And another thing, believe in yourself again, and you know, sometimes to achieve history, to be a name in the history, you don't have to be that good girl, in the sense, you know, the good girl means sticking or going by all the norms that the society expects you to do. Sometimes you have to break to achieve breakthroughs in your life. Yeah.
So, dear viewers, that is D. Rupa for you. We've had a wonderful session of this multifaceted IPS officer, and I'm sure all of you have enjoyed this conversation as I have had. That's Masterclass for you. Until we meet again with our next esteemed guest.
One thing, you have to have focus on whatever you do, whatever work you are doing. To say that I can't do is the easiest way to get out of any situation. Don't do that. If it is difficult, you should venture out, you know, expand, see whether, explore and see whether you will be able to achieve that, and then have focus on it and have discipline, and you know, enjoy what you do, and always think it's half, my cup is always half full. That makes your life easy.